Yo, 420 Kids live direct in effect. Oklahoma City bound to D-Town. Knowledge is key. Dirty Mac and what's happening? Today's episode, we got what if your wife was like this in a Tyrone rat maze experiment. Knowledge is key. What's going down in the D-Town, brother, man?
Man, what's popping, God body? What's happening with you?
Man, looking at it, we back at it like crack at it, man.
Hey, we back. We back. Better than ever.
You hear me? You better believe it, man. Man, what's been going on? Let's check out this quick little clip of how these women is out here acting and moving nowadays, man.
So check this video out.
What's wrong with you?
What are you talking about?
What you mean what I'm talking about? You know
Talking about?
why you quit your job?
Because I wasn't finna pay bills anymore. I don't want to do any of this anymore.
What you mean you not gonna pay bills no more?
I'm not paying any bills anymore. Like, are you hard of hearing? Like, I'm not doing it anymore.
So you're not gonna help me out no more?
Oh.
Why?
Because that's your job. You're supposed to be paying all the bills in the first place. Why I gotta go work? Why I gotta get up at 8 o'clock?
Who house is this?
It's our house, but you gonna pay all these bills. I'm not doing it by myself.
I'm saying, so what's wrong with you working and help?
There's a lot wrong with it. Why I gotta do it? Why I gotta do it? You sit up here and act like you the man of the house. Okay, be the man of the house and pay all the bills. I'm not doing it.
I am the man of the house.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Not complaining like that.
No, I'm the man of the house, and the man of the house telling you need to.
No, I'm not gonna go do anything. I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing right here on my computer, and you go to work.
What you doing on the computer,
work.
y'all?
You do all the kids. Be a man, step up, and do what you need to do.
I've always been a man.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You haven't been lately.
I've been a man.
You sure haven't been lately.
How?
So what? You bring this camera in my face to do what?
How?
What point are you trying to prove?
To show people how sorry you is.
I'm not sorry.
How about that?
I'm not sorry. What I'm gonna do is be the lady in the house and make sure the house is taken care of, and you go out and work. How come I don't? Didn't you just eat last night?
What?
Didn't you just eat?
Whoa.
In today's times, what would you do if your wife came home talking about she ain't work? She quit her job. She ain't paying no more bills.
Man, that's crazy. Like, how do you handle that, ladies? I know all the ladies in the world out there is not on that, but however, you know, it's a lot of women out there that are. They putting too much on the man. Too much expectations. You know, if he want to go out to eat to know you, he take you to Starbucks. No, I wanted something to drink and a full course meal. I didn't want Starbucks. People not meeting people to get to know people, you know, and then the women are mad because the men are only looking at them from a sexual standpoint. That's all they see. But all they see is the come up. Hey, man, we got to do better. I don't know, man. That's cold. You know, my wife, I couldn't picture my wife nor any wife ever been in a situation where they got to take care of their family, but then they say what they not doing. You know what I mean? It's people out here, man, hey, for real. That's crazy.
That's insane. Appreciate that insight. That's really insane.
Body.
I don't know. I'll probably tell her I would have packed her. Say, hey, you need to get up out of here right now. Talking about you ain't paying no bills, and I guess you finna leave. That would have been my. You try to get up out of here right now. It's you definitely need 2 incomes right now just to be above the poverty line. Keep your head above water, and people still struggling, and you just finna put all the pressure. Actually, like what you were saying, woman, is it wrong for a man to be, hey, man? let's go back into this next video article because they go make me start tripping and carrying on. You hear me? Listen to this next video article.
How come I don't? Did you just eat last night?
What the?
Did you just eat last night?
Tell them
The point is,
tell them what you cooked me
the
though.
point is, I'm not finna go and work for nobody anymore. Now you can go and work at your little warehouse job and bring
Listen,
back that money so we
listen.
can pay these bills.
Cooking rotel ain't no.
What you talking about? We're not even talking about me cooking. What we talking about is you going to work so you can come back home and make sure that we good.
No, what we talking about is you need to go get a job so you can
No,
help
I'm
make
not
sure
gonna go
we
do anything.
good.
I'm not about to do anything. If you not satisfied,
No, we need to help make sure each other good. So like,
no,
I
I'm
don't understand
good.
this
I'm
shit.
good. You need to make sure that this whole house is
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
How you good if you just quit your job?
Because you don't know what I got put up. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not paying
Oh,
anything
so
else.
that's what we doing.
Like I said,
I don't
I'm
know
not
what you
paying
got put up.
anything else.
I don't
And
know what you
you're
got
gonna
put
be
up.
responsible for everything else. I'm tired of paying bills. Simple as that. So what you gonna do?
Bro, that little portion you put in on
Portion?
that little portion
Okay, so
that
my
you
little
put in
portion
on
about
Gucci,
nothing, because I'm not paying anything else.
and that's the
You're
problem.
not understanding that.
I don't understand why you don't think that's a problem.
It isn't a problem.
So why
I'm
you
your
don't think that's a
wife.
problem?
I'm your wife. So why do you want your wife to go out and work? I'm not understanding it.
Plenty of people wives work.
Okay, I'm not gonna be one of them anymore. Simple as that.
No.
You need to step your
No.
game up. Go get you another job. Go get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more if you got to. But I'm not gonna do it no more.
Yeah, you feel me?
I do not.
Nah, you got
Go in.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Listen to this mentality, brother. Oh, well.
Man. Hey, shout out to the goddess. What's the goddess name who posted this video?
Oh, wait. Shout out to her. I don't know her.
Man, shout out to you. Yeah, and if anybody know her, tell her to get in touch with us too. Tell her to pull up. Let's talk about it because she obviously has a different perspective. But that lady said, go get 5, 6. Man, most jobs you work 8 hours.
Yeah.
God dang. How do you work 5 or 6 jobs? I ain't heard of that one yet. I mean, I heard of, 5, 6 strings, but I've never heard of 5, 6 jobs. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Women right now, some of the women, not all of them, a lot is above correction, right? And especially I'll say the millennials or the younger women, they expect it's like to me, it's like a prostitute mentality. I don't see nothing the matter with if you want to take a woman out with her paying her half.
No.
Or let's go to the
No.
lake. You don't gotta spend no money on no woman take her out to see if she really like you. It's not gonna be about what you can do for her. You know what I mean? So take her to the lake, see if she gets some sunlight. Let's walk around. Let's go get some coffee. They want to go get some drinks. They wanted you to have. I want to get you. You want to get drunk. Why you want to get drunk? So you can be promiscuous? You know what I mean? That's crazy. You try and show them respect. Hey, let's go get some coffee. Let's go. Starbucks is off. Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, I'm like, this is pretty cool restaurant. They got a list, actual list of where you're not supposed to take women on first dates. And a lot of them women, they selling the kitty. That's all it is. They selling it. And
man, wow, I'm happy you said that. They selling the kitty, but then you run across so many women that want to be wives. They want to be wives, but if sex is recreational and you go get papers to get married, but you don't look at sex as sacred, or you don't look at that like it's time. If you put a paper over actually having sexual intercourse, I mean, it's just the mentality. Where do we get it wrong? Somewhere. And people don't want you to look at them as a sexual object, but some people dress very provocative and cutting edge, to say the least. But then they don't want you to look, or you want attention. Yeah, but you don't want attention. I don't get. But then, man, they've been some people. Like I say, to all you ladies who could get triggered for some of the things I'm about to say now, is not to trigger you. If it doesn't apply, don't ingest it. But if it does apply, you have women that will work on makeup, all these different things. And I'm not one of the men where I'm going to worry about women wearing makeup. It's not all of this or that. But for the women who want to know, a man loves to see how you naturally are when you wake up. When when you sweating and in your most different type of ways, it brings out pheromones that men like to see, smell, touch, some taste, all the above. So, at some point we have to reel it back in. I mean, it's gotten out of character. If you want attention, and you know that other people have animal tendencies, or they smell, they see all these things, then if you don't want this attention, why act like it? And especially why act this lady, hey man, this is the most entitled nonsense I've ever seen. If you could even picture yourself doing something, yeah, don't be in a bond or a relationship where you gotta hold people good, bad, and ugly. Like, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm looking for the reasoning. It's wild, brother. It's wild.
That's beyond measure. It's insane, man. And we're in a mental health epidemic right now, man. And the women's mental health, a lot of women, they have trauma that they deal with, and they never talk about that trauma, and they just hold it out, and then they'll destroy their relationships just off of previous traumas. Anger, dealing with anger issues, anxiety issues, post-traumatic stress issues, and like I said, I just couldn't imagine having a woman like that. She's talking about, obviously, it takes both of our incomes to just stay above water. And you just talking about you finna quit. I guess you just finna quit this relationship then. I'm a big fan of never respecting disrespectful people. Period. Family members, mother, father, girlfriend. If you're verbally assaulting me, you're gonna get verbal assault right back at you. I'm an energy person. You can't give me bad, negative energy and just act like I'm just supposed to bow down and fold. So it's hard dealing with it now, man. And maybe this next video article has something to do with it. The Tyrone rat maze experiment. Like who cloned Tyrone? This next video article. Let's check this out.
One with yourself out here, family.
Just your typical nigga shit. And I'm just tired of the typical nigga shit.
What keep you focused? Like,
what keep me focused is looking at the community. You know what I'm saying? It's something called the Tyrone maze rat experiment. Y'all need to look that up. It's called the Tyrone's Maze Rat Experiment. It went down in 1940. He ended up getting it from another psychiatrist in 1840. It's called the Tyrone Maze Rat Experiment. And what they did was they took a few hundred rats, right? And they splitted them and they divided them. And what they did was they created an environment for both of these rats to live in. In one subject, they took about 100 rats and they put it in an environment where it had clean water. They put it in an environment where it had a right amount of space for the rats can, get, basically if they wanted to be by themselves, they could. They made sure that it was good food in there that didn't have any type of poisons put inside the foods. They even gave them space to breathe, to go upstairs, downstairs. They just gave them this abundant environment, right? They put these rats in there. Mind you, these are the same rats with the same genetical molecular structure, which is nothing different. They both came from the same mama, the same daddy, the same family tree, right? So they took these rats, they put one in a good environment, then they put the other 100 rats in a bad environment where they didn't get water. If they did get water, the water actually had acids in it. They made sure they didn't give them the regular food. I think they gave them like cat food or something like that with a bunch of pellets that was inside of them, right? They stuck them on top of each other and they made sure that the space was very, very small. They never cleaned any poop out of the maze. They pissed out of the maze and they left them in there. They left them in there for 4 months and they watched how their behavior changed. They went back and they got the actual rats that came from the good environment and they put them in the maze. They ended up going through the maze very, very fast. Then they ended up going to get the rats that they put in the bad environment and put them in the maze, and they didn't know how to even make it through the first section of the maze. So he like, maybe this is a coincidence. So he did it. So what he did was he switched the rats. He took the rats that was smart that made it through the maze, that was in the good environment, and he put them in a bad environment. Then he took the rats that was in a bad environment, that was dummies that couldn't make it through the maze at all, and he put them in a good environment. He waited 4 months, then he took them back out. The same rats that was good and smart, that was in a good environment, that he put in a bad environment, now they couldn't make it through the maze. The same rats that was in the bad environments, that was dummies that couldn't make it through the maze, he put them in a good environment. Now they making it through the maze and making it through life just fine. So he said, damn, it ain't the genetics. It ain't who these people is as individuals. It's the community. It's the environment that you put these biological entities in that changes the way they interact with their environment and with themselves. Did you know he did another 6-month experiment on the same rats that he left in the bad environment? Guess what they started doing? Killing each other. Some of the male rats started humping other male rats. Homosexuality. Look, the other rats that was at the bottom that didn't have the food, these niggas went upstairs to the other rats and started robbing them for food and water. I said, damn, this sound like your typical project. Don't this sound like the PJs? This is a real rat experiment. So it made me start questioning. I had to sit back and really rub my chin.
So they turned into robbing rats?
They turned into robbing homosexual
What else are you gonna do?
rats.
It's a survival mechanism at this point.
Now check this out though, goddess. It was a selective group of female rats, and I really want y'all to look this up when y'all get home today. Watch this. It will fuck your mind up. The female rats, they started pampering themselves. They used to let their children just do what the fuck ever. They started pampering themselves. All they was worried about.
The hood rats. Which one these?
See, these was the hood rats. Okay, the hood rats, right? Exactly. So the hood rats. I'm gonna quote that. The hood rats. All they did was pamper themselves. The only thing that they worried about was their fur. They worried about their weight. They didn't worry about their children anymore. They weren't worried about the mama papa rat. The only thing that they focused on was their actual cells. And then the father rats started going to other different parts of the actual rat experiment cage and started like bullying on the younger children. It was crazy, man. Look, it gets so deep when you really start watching it. It even rapists started happening. Rape with the older male rats in the community started raping the younger males and the younger female rats. Same thing that happens in the ghetto where a young girl will get touched on by their uncle, or a young male will get touched on by their uncle or their auntie. This happens. So it's like, damn, is this rat experiment that's going on in Tyrone, rat maze experiments, the same shit that's going on with us in these communities? And then you have to ask yourself, in the projects. Right. And who built these communities? We didn't build these communities. We ain't put the liquor stores in these communities. We ain't put dope in here. You got something called Russian AK-47s. Niggas ain't never been to Russia. You got Japanese SKs. We ain't never been to Japan. We got grenades that come from, we got all these different things in the community of America that's outside of America when niggas ain't never left the block. How was they getting there? This shit was set up. So once I realized, like, damn, me and my people is in a rat maze. This is a project. We are being psychologically experimented on. That's when I said, okay, this is my motivation. It's time to break the psychological chains of my people. Yep. So once I fully got myself up out of it, my whole mission is I'm going to die for this shit. Everybody that I come in contact with is going to hear this message. And my message is wake the fuck up.
God body. God body.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, me and that man vibrating on the same frequency. Same frequency. Once mentally you break out of the construct, you start realizing and holding yourself accountable for everything you've been through in life. You can attribute a thought to it, or a thought pattern to it that led you to that. But it was a learning process the whole time. So it's not about living in the past, but it's about learning from the past. The future is not here yet. So what you do right now in this instant determines your future. And knowing that you are part of an experiment, actually knowing that. Yeah, of course. What can this be but a project? It's built up, it's set a certain way. But, we got to start learning and to tap into that part of self, this not just worried about me, myself, but it's this selfless, which means you have to practice detaching. We got to detach from everything. That's what the whole purpose. But once you detach from this self, you reconnect to the source that holds everything. It's running everything. So then you're in alignment, like you're in alignment with everything that's supposed to happen for you. You become in alignment with everything. But it's a deep thing, you know, and we've so far been lost from what it really is. You know, the Dr. Sabies, everybody damn near in the past that we have known that stepped forward and said, hey, this is a better way to live. It's always some type of conspiracy, some, you know, weird way of thinking and communicating with it. So I say, man, when you see them rat experiments and you look at real life, it's crazy. But from a human perspective, not even being a rat, you can see the exact same things that they saying in the rat experiment. You can see where it happens. You can see where a man might not be he might be physically strong, but not as attractive, not really know how to talk to women, but he come up through the struggle where he had to take, it's made him feel like this is what he had to do. And then he get older and really still not a woman. He a G, but he not really with women. He might start looking at little girls. You know, somebody locked up a whole lot of time in their lives from a little kid. They might start looking at little boys. It is, and you know what I'm saying? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. God body. Yeah, man.
Absolutely, man. And I'm a big thing with the experiment system, you know, genocide, systematic planned annihilation. I don't blame the people. I blame the leaders. You know what I mean? Because everything rises and falls on leadership. So the government, they place you in these positions. You know, for them to be on the top, we have to be on the bottom. You know, the ghettos projects, these are our creations. You know, so when you look at this experiment, what they did with the rats, you see the same thing going on with the people. We are experiment. You know, they experiment on us with in the medical community. You hear me? With the food. You hear me? With the visuals that we see. You know, and then they often want us to point the finger at each other. You know, that's the mentality because genocide often is looked upon as black on black crime, but that's not in the definition. It's systematic planned annihilation, the systems, the educational system, you know, the monetary system, you know, things of that nature, the government systems, institutions, the religious indoctrinations, where we're subservient to images of God that don't look like us, you know. Black people are the only people who serve gods that don't look like them. You know, so we have no problem seeing these people on top of us or us in the losing position all the time. And as far as our women, back to the way it's talking about the rat experiment with them pampering themselves. They're not worried about the kids, they just worrying about pampering. I think African American relations is struggling because the woman thinks uh, it's all about her in the relationship. You're here to serve them. God made woman for man, not man for woman. You know, religious indoctrination. So anybody who thinks that they're above somebody in a relationship and the other person, that's toxic thinking. So we have the highest rate of women being single, you know, unmarried. You know what I mean? And they brag about being single and independent. This is what our women. This is what you're gonna hear in your. I'm independent. I'm single. Well, you're gonna be single. You know, it's not really cool for a woman to be single. You know what I mean? A man horning around or doing, they can demonize. Oh, all you do is screw a whole bunch of women. That's really not. I mean, for the energy part and just the manifestation of karma and good energy, you probably don't want to just be screwing with a whole bunch of women because you're mixing energies. And it's a mental health thing going on right now, man. And that's struggling. People are struggling with mental health right now, and it's altering their realities because of their mental. The way you think, you know, as above, so below. So the whole rat experiment, man, we need some reconstruction we need reparations in the African American community, and that's not only dealing with money, it's dealing with the religious indoctrinations that we have been taught, the educational institute, all through educational institute. What did we learn about slavery? Uh, being in a state of submission, Same with the religious indoctrination, state of submission, education. Economic indoctrination. We're at the bottom. We're lower class in poverty. So this all we need to repair the damage that has been done by the systems. So we're definitely in who cloned Tyrone. We're definitely in a rat maze experiment. We are definitely in there, man. And I appreciate that insight too, man. What you got, brother?
Yeah, God body, man. To go back on the woman and you talking about her, them wanting to pamper themselves. Like it's crazy because I say, me personally in my life, I don't have that. I've noticed that a lot of time when women do go more natural with themselves, there's an instinct that kicks in where they don't have to spend as much time. They naturally look, what do you call it? Like foreign, almost exotic. They carry an exotic look. Like in my eyes, I'm not speaking for every man. Some men like things that's flashy, this not them. They like makeup. They like a lot of that stuff. But a lot of men these days, like I say, if the women y'all are doing it, the ones that do it, you're doing it for you. It's the Tyrone Rat experiment. They get so much rejection. Yeah, they've been taught a certain way, and then on top of this, they want to physically depend on a man and then emotionally depend on a man. Checkmate here. A man will never hold the emotions that a woman has. Like it's time to start being raw true. A man will never. Never. There is a man that might get you flowers. He might be more romantic than another man. He might pay attention and be attentive a different way that some other men are not. Some men are gonna be stronger. They gonna protect you with their life. You're gonna run across all type of different men that are stronger at some points, weaker at some points, just like it's women that are stronger at some points, weaker at some points. But we got to get to the point where we just know certain things. Women, other women are meant to be your support. You're supposed to have women friends. You're not supposed to get with your man and he's your all and everything, nor will he ever be just you be his all and everything. That's not going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean that he hasn't be out here sleeping with the world. That doesn't mean that we don't have to have a diet and everything. Food, there's a diet. Sex, there's a diet. Your appetite can't just be wild because you're gonna be all over the place. You're gonna be everywhere. So this goes and works a whole lot of ways. But yeah, shout out to that, because that woman wants that man to be financially there for his house, and then she's gonna go off and do something. You can already hear it in her tone, and then she gonna say he wasn't there. She told him to work 6 jobs. She gonna go. Somebody else gonna bust her down. Then she gonna say you wasn't there. Hey man, this is what you fellas are facing for real. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
Man.
God body, man. Yeah, you pick up from there. For real. I don't even, yeah.
Look at the very successful men: Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. They all very successful men at their craft, and you can't connect with the woman emotionally. It's just not in a man's nature. You can tolerate it until you can't tolerate it anymore.
Yeah.
It's psychological warfare. They don't even know what they're mad about. They're just gonna just traumatize you with their past traumas, their PTSDs, their anxiety, their depression, and to think you're supposed to understand it. It's just go ahead, bro.
Now I've gotten to the point, I can't lie, where I kind of get it. Because I see the Tyrone, I see exactly what you put up, bro. I was so spiritually in line with what they were saying because I see it, and I'm just now coming across the ways to actually display or say what I'm seeing. But I see why they like that. Like when you do run across, oh, okay, you're beginning into this world, you growing up, you have your first cycle. You embarrassed by a cycle, or you feel a certain way, like, whoa, I'm bleeding. And some men are like the animals. Oh, she bleeding now. It's time for her to say, hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is how you start your beginning. Just like we go through, I talked about the man who is big in stature and strength, and he become like the bully, but he don't know how to really talk to women. So, his way is the force, everything. But hey, it's wild, but it's the same exact concept, same exact thing with the women's where I overstand them, but then nobody's being real with them. Nobody's saying, hey, I know you mad about you might be mad at your husband. You feel like he don't clean as much. You you feel like you got to do everything with the kids, all this and that. But naturally, that's something he's gonna have to work to get better at some of those things. But that's naturally you. There's some things he's naturally great at that you're not, and he's gonna plug them holes in. When y'all start learning like that, then y'all can gel and actually build together. When you start saying, okay, I see why she mad. I might not be saying something, but she spiritually is stronger than me. She can pick up other stuff that have her all disturbed. She kind of knows, she kind of don't. Whatever it is, got her puzzled. She all over the fucking place. So she bouncing out and she expecting you to console her. But you like, hey, I think about shit, but I ain't on shit. Like, and she still tripping on a lot of stuff. Yeah, once we understand they there to protect us, but they overstep. They haven't been taught certain boundaries or functions. We've been in the Tyrone rat experiment. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even understand what's really going on. It's really all for my benefit. When we start seeing that how these things really work, we can learn to work it, where to be a unit, and we all build together. We can build villages, nations. We can do that. But yeah, not under if our environment is corrupt, messed up, what we don't know. When you don't know, bro, I seen two people. I'm not even gonna call them out or the situation because that doesn't matter like that. But let's just say one was Muslim, one was Christian. So they have this back and forth conversation. And it goes through everything, you know, from Malcolm X being whatever with the Muslims. You know, it's nothing to go into because I don't want to throw any dirt out there on either side. Like we got enough of that in the world. But I mean, you know, it's some people you can get that part of it. We just getting the learning aspects of it, bro. But they went through the Nation of Islam, through the Muslims, Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, and if Jesus is real, we went the Council of Nicaeas. They went through talking about everything, and I'm sitting back, and then I say, hey, when the fires burnt in Hawaii and they were spreading real fast, people was grabbing people's kids. They was doing whatever they could do to get to the ocean when it was that hot. I said, man, they never stopped and asked nobody or was talking about what religion they were. They was worried about. So do we have to get to where it's complete anarchy, where we are under siege before we start seeing the similarities and how we can help each other build? Or do we just continue to consume each other? You know, because we are going to be like the rest. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? Like, nobody cares. The truth of the matter is nobody cares. We going through all this and that, but, man, nobody really cares. Some people, hey, they going to get back to where the makeup at. They going to be the rat that's playing with their fur. They're going to be the rats that's out there raping, you know, doing whatever. And then the people that do practice sacrifice, the people who do set aside their diet appetite, they sacrifice the diet, they pick up something that's easy on them. The people who sacrifice habits, who sacrifice everything for everybody, they end up being the sacrifice. It's like the craziest in the world. But I see once we see it and we able to connect with those people who everybody is trying to sacrifice, we'll start. Yeah, we because it's a lot that we got to teach, and we're not being real with the young people. You know, shout out to all the young, to the young gods, goddesses, and all the above. Like, we're not keeping it real with the youngsters. We still bickering about religions and all these different things. Meanwhile, the youngsters are at the point where they don't really know orientation. But this is what I'm gonna say good about them. They at a place where they have erased it. Everything is gonna get worse before it get better, but they done broke everything down to the bottom where you don't have no choice but to go up. And I think it's about that time because everything else we've tried hasn't worked. And we still kicking it, and you know, we still trying to push certain things on other people. Like the biggest thing I heard when they were doing the Muslim and Christian debate was, hey man, when push come down to shove and you get down to the goal line, bro, The only thing you're gonna think about is that God inside of you. How can you act? How can you be present in what's happening now? What can I do? Where am I needed? Shit. What else? This is so. Once we get in that mentality, we can be in the present. We don't have to compete on what somebody else has, what they're doing. Just do your part. Like being an integral push. Like, hey man, but I think we on the verge. We on the verge of getting that shit. We just gotta look at it with a different eye, man. It is an experiment.
I think we're on the verge of destruction, man, and artificial
Damn.
intelligence taking over because we can't come to a medium, man. Everybody has their own selfish agenda. As far as the relationships in America, I think the women have they're delusional. The woman thinks they're supposed to be head of the relationship due to her psychological frozen state of independence. I'm independent, I do this, yada, yada, yada. Because she hasn't grown up and seen a man in a structured environment ruling a household. Most African Americans don't, even the men haven't seen the men in positions of power or leadership. So a lot of women run around telling a man what to do. Sit, cage. And then want to be talking about the money. You hear me? How is he supposed to make some money when he can't even go outside the house? He can't even talk to his friends. He can't tap into his networking system because he's supposed to be under you 24/7 dealing with your emotional turmoil. So with this way of thinking, and there's no self accountability. Me that in my relationships, I'll sit back and look like, man, maybe I'm the problem. You hear me? Probably most of the time I am, because like I said, I can't deal with a loudmouth woman, a woman who thinks she's running, controlling the house. Hey, man, I'm African. You hear me? We don't go for that bullshit. You hear me? Hey, you're not running shit over here, but your motherfucking mouth. And most of the time, that's what they doing, wanting respect and not respecting. You're cussing, loud talking, and then often complaining that they're the most disrespected, but yet they're being the most disrespectful. Who's the most disrespectful person that you know? We don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. You hear me? Who is the person disrespecting you
Oh,
the most?
sir.
You hear
I,
me?
I'm gonna say this to make light of that. To make light of that. And then keep it a thousand. Um, the people you're around most are gonna be the people that feel like they can disrespect you. People who you just running across you're not spending enough time with them to really go through stuff to
That's
where
who
they
I
feel
want to be
like,
around then.
yeah,
Damn it.
huh,
That's who I want to be around then. Because I don't want to
yeah,
be around people who think they don't got an exit date or
yeah,
extra. Hey, man,
yeah.
anybody
That
in
real
my life
talk.
right now, you can get the
Yeah,
fuck out of my life.
yeah.
You hear me?
God body,
Because you're not
God
going to handle
body.
me rough, or none of that. And when people think they don't have an expiration date, that's how
Yeah.
they handle you. You know what I mean? So let people keep, hey, man, you got everybody. We got expiration dates as humans.
Hey, there
Our
we
time
go.
is going to
There we
expire.
go. Yeah.
Everybody. So
So it's really you saying expiration date, but with how that bounces off to somebody that care about you is you don't care about them. No, it's not saying that, but it's saying you're not gonna continue to take me for granted. If I won't disrespect you, I don't like being taken to a place where you disrespect me. Damn, eventually I got to meet your energy, and I don't want to match energy. Shit, I'll never match energy. Why? Misery love misery. Shit, if misery loves misery, I don't want to be miserable. So hell no, I don't want to match miserable energy. That's why I say a lot of time women have to deal with women because they overstand their emotion. A man just thinks that you're pestering. He like, God, this
Dragon.
is never ended. It's
You
not.
not
This is
respect my
this is
presence.
what it sound like to him. Is you say what?
You're gonna respect
Yeah,
my presence. You're gonna respect my absence.
yeah,
And
yeah,
people, man, your woman's supposed to build you up. Men, women don't. Man, they've been dogging men out for centuries. You hear me? When have you heard? Look at the successful men. I ain't looking at the people on. Look at all the success. The Will Smiths, the Michael Jordans. You hear me? The Tiger Woods. Who is their biggest arch enemy? Surely they got, these are very successful men, entrepreneurs, financially, but a man can't be there for you emotionally because we're not emotional. We're emotional, but not like the women. You know, they're on some other ethers right now.
Nah, that's why they gotta have the sisters. 9 out of 10, if a woman hear a man with locker room talk, she's gonna misconstrue 90% of what they saying. They laughing and just saying shit that
He's
men
not
say.
supposed to be in the locker room. First off,
But
you're
see, okay,
you're hustling in
okay,
the locker room. Okay,
yeah,
me and the whole week talk about women and you sit here and
yeah,
got heard of all you do is talk about. Hey, what the fuck are you doing in here?
yeah,
Beat it. You hear
yeah,
me? Beat it.
yeah.
I
But
want
think about this.
if a woman is talking in the room, I'm not finna be in there. I don't want to
Nah,
hear that bullshit
nah,
they talking about.
nah. I don't
I'm
even like what be on TV. But
hell
see,
no.
okay, so here go the Tyrone Rat experiment. There it go. That's that in a nutshell, right? They grow up, everything they look at, we don't look at. We doing something else totally different. They doing. Then we move in the same house, and they still doing the things that they've been doing up until that point. But they expect you now are the other part. They wanted a family and all these things, but they not looking at you for all this over here you've been doing. You've been running track, playing football, in the sports, you've been competitive, you're doing all these things. Unless that person is a person who's doing those exact things, it's gonna clash unless you both can learn from each other. If that person can say, okay, I can learn how to work out it, but I don't, it's a give and take because I'm not gonna watch Housewives with you every night or stay in the room and that's what you're doing. I'm gonna come upstairs and do a podcast.
Drama series or some
Yeah,
scary movies.
yeah.
All the images that they is distorting their mental. Scary movies, killing people, some drama.
It is true. We do a lot of the same, but I say it's the Tyrone Rat experiment though, because now they used to have friends. They abandoned their friends. Everybody they were close to a lot of times they don't speak to as much. They taking care of households. They busy doing this and this and that. So they start depending on you for that emotional comfort. You're more still. You're more yeah. You don't think our brains don't even operate like that. And someone's asking you, hey, be there spirit emotionally for me the way my friends used to or the way my girls support my women's village. Like when women are having babies, other women that know how that woman's feeling, they're normally in that place delivering the baby because they know what it feels like. They know the best stance is how to tell her how to breathe. A man never experiences childbirth. So how would he know how it really feels? That's why it's an experiment. We're not getting to the point where actually talking about this stuff, how it's really taking place. We're talking about it and we're trying to speak and we'll say, well, what scripture is that in? You know what I'm saying? This is really what's going on. Like, we're not looking at it in reality, man. These women, they've been through certain things. We've been through certain, when we learn how to put these things together and look at them, like, please, if you want to watch that, don't expect me to, and then say, well, we're not spending time. You know what? End of the day, we're both, we're the same beings, but we're separate. We were built for different things, and when none of us are in our natural state, we in the Tyrone Rat experiment. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta make the best of it. You know, every day is not promised. You know, a good day is over the grave and out of a cell. Like these are the great days. These are the great days. So I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say. You know, it speaks for itself. Bro, I think we didn't came in with a blast. With a blast. This re-up right here that we about to be on. My goodness, brother. Yeah.
So in closing, man, we do got to get better and come to a medium, man, and find a solution instead of always pointing out the problems. Cause we just sitting here bashing, talking, and man, I don't want to be around a person who just think it's cool to disrespect you, cussing. How do we treat our friends and co-workers better than we treating people that we love? You know, it's time to start showing respect and receiving respect. To give respect, to receive respect, you got to show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's no other way to do it. So
You gotta give respect.
you got to give respect to get it. So in closing, man, we got to do better, man. And relationships are suffering. There's a lot of beautiful women out here single. And me as a man, I know that they don't want to be single. They talking about, oh, I'm working on myself, which that's good. They take the time to work on self. I've been shacking up with women since high school. I ain't never had no time to just have nobody cluttering my mental. You hear me? With whatever they got going on, I never just had the time to be focused on my goals and objectives.
Yeah.
I'm always worried about this, worried about that. People, you got scavengers always on your helmet, trying to reach in your pockets, shaking you down. You know what I mean? It's all type of stuff going on. So the mental
Wow.
health that we go through as men, they don't. Hey, baby, I'm glad you made it home today. Hey, Kim, I appreciate you for holding it down. It's
Yeah.
nothing but nagging, complaints, grievances, and Nick, man, motherfuckers get tired of that shit, bro. And it's to the point where motherfuckers like, hey, man, I just be single. You know what I mean? And a lot of men is going through that, and then that's affecting human nature.
That's affecting the community.
We codependent
That's,
on each other.
man.
The Bible. So the men want to be fuck these women, man. The men like fuck these men. They ain't shit. Ain't no good men. Now wonder why the AI is coming in strong. We got all this homosexual narrative coming in. So in closing, we got to do better, man.
In closing, man, closing statement. Yeah, man, like the brother said, you can't get respect if you don't give respect. When people go to work in the morning, man, they say hi. They didn't just call, oh, bitch ass nigga. You done did all this before you went to work. Then you go into work and smile and be respectful because they pay you. It's the rat experiment. Like, how do you be most disrespectful to people at home, but then because you work where you work at, you're respectful to everybody? No, we got to change the way we operate. If we're gonna respect people everywhere we go, let's respect people. If we have a conversation, if the conversation get too hard, just say, oh no, that conversation too hard. But don't say somebody said something and then it was disrespectful to you because it was true. Or maybe not even that it's true. It pulled a heartstring. They could have said something that's like, damn, that hit me. Like, I don't know why it hit me and felt, but if you stop and you think about it, I guarantee you it's something in your past that made you feel like that because you connected it with a familiar feeling. You connected it with something that you knew. And I only know these things because I see them in myself. Let that be known. There's a lot of people, a lot of time I say things and it's easy to take it. And I might post something online and the person think I'm talking directly to them and they hit me up like, hey, what you talking about? This and that. Like, nah, man, I'm just saying, breezing something going through my mind. But we all are going through the same things. So when people are brutally honest, it connects with a lot of people. Like, because they can see the sincerity. They can see it. So it's time to get to that, man. The first clip bro played, the lady was offering nothing but disrespect. But then she's wanting that man to get out and respect his family and take care of his family when all she's going to give him is disrespect. Like, how can you even... Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing. I'm happy one of the guys posted it, that it wasn't a dude's, because that shows there's an opposition. Like, and we looking for that opposition. It's time to build a nation. It's not natural for us to be saying, fuck the women. We're not dealing with the women. That's not natural. Now, hell no, them goddesses is your mothers. Those are your sisters. But I get this society. If somebody tell you, hey, why are you taking me to Starbucks? I don't want to sit down and get coffee. I know we're going on the first date, but yeah, I want to eat. I want some liquor. I want to drink. If you can't, you a broke ass. You broke. Like, hey, hey, when you know better, you do better. But hey, this is this is repeat season 2. Hey, we up in here nonstop. God, body, and closing.
Man. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here and y'all messing with us. One love. Peace to the guys and goddesses.